to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. And evermore shine in our hearts with your resplendent face. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are almost at the end of this chapter 10, which is the last chapter, and we are on page 329. We are reading 22nd verse, and half of them was completed. So I'll read the rest of the half and with a little introduction. Again, the same thing. The question comes that whether this ultimate truth is what? It is empty or non-empty. And Ajatavad says that this world is not created. Buddhists say it is empty. Some say it is non-empty. So, what is the actual situation? So it cannot be said empty, non-existence, empty or non-empty. You cannot say it is. That's why it is called a state, which is empty and non-empty. That means it means nothing. Whether this world is there, we can say, no, world does not remain there. But then the world, when it comes, where does it go? Where did it came from? In that sense, it was there. So the truth was there or truth is not there. So ultimately, that is a state which cannot be described. So that was the chapter. So 22nd verse we read the other day. 21st we said that I am that. Ahameva parang brahma vasudevakam. I am that imperishable supreme Brahman, who is called another language Vasudeva. And Vasudeva means who permeates everywhere. Iti satnischito mukta. When one can think this way, convincingly, very firmly understand, I am that Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahman, and it is Abhaya, it is imperishable, it is unending, beginningless, endless, all this, as we talk about Brahma. So I am that. And this is my conviction. It is Shat Nishchito Nishchita. When you are confirmed that, that is called Mukti. Going to heaven is not Mukti, because you have to come back. Whatever heaven you can go, it is time bound, because you did some good karma, you are going into heaven. Bad karma, you go to hell. But because it is a karma, it has its limitation. So it's hell also is temporary, heaven also temporary. But that falls within the realm of the duality. So Vedanta does not care for going to heaven or hell. Neither hell, neither heaven. What they want? They want to get state where there is that unchanging absolute reality. So, what is then definition of mukti or liberation according to Vedanta? Is to go to a state where there is no duality, but convinced in about this experience that I am that Supreme Brahman. That Supreme Brahman is Abhayam, is imperishable, and that is Vasudeva permeated everywhere in every consciousness. 22nd verse is continued, the same idea. Neti, neti, iti, neti, iti, neti, iti, sheshitang yat parang padam, nirakurtum ashakatvat, tadasmi iti sukhi bhava. So what it says, we read it. That's why I'm just repeating the same thing. Neti, no, neti. Neti means not, this is not. No, iti, it is not. Same, not this, it is not there, it is not there. And you go on continuously rejecting. Brahman is this table? No. Brahman is this big hall? No. Brahman is this big Los Angeles? No. Brahman is this whole US? No. Brahman is this all the oceans and the earth? Brahman? No. Brahman is the stars and galaxies? No. Go on expanding and at the same time say these are not Brahman because Brahman is in undivided, absolute, without any duality. So if you go on negating, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, and you will be getting to a particular point, which will be the last point, and you cannot negate that. Anubhuyante yena tam ko nibarayat. It is a Panchadashi says that you are experiencing all your pleasure, pain, suffering, anxieties, worries. What is that which gives you the experience? How can you deny that? That is the only thing reality. Experiences come, good experience, bad experience, your experience of sadness, your experience of good health, your experience of the world and its achievements and failures, that may come. But that consciousness which allows us to understand that how can you deny that? That means that is the undeniable truth. You can deny everything, but you cannot deny that. And that consciousness is pervades everywhere. That's why everywhere is action, everywhere is animation. It's all prana, it is all energy everywhere. So this verse says the supreme state that remains. That is the state you cannot deny, you cannot destroy. At the end of all negations, after which nothing more can be negated, this is verily called I, the real I. This, not this I, but the real I. That I is so big then. You think that you are so small, but in reality, you are so big that you negate all stars, galaxies, moon, star, what you call the earth, and anything small to big. Negate everything. This is because these are all created in the duality. It has a beginning, it has an end. So it is today it is here, tomorrow it will go. Every day it is changing. Only unchanging truth is that is Brahman. So and that is I. So see, that's why it is everyone gets frightened to think that I is that big. Because we always think we have been taught to think I am little petty, I am this guy, I have this capacity, I am so weak, I am so fragile. And now you say, I am everything. So it is a bold state. That's why Vedanta says, path is not this, not this, not this. Not this of what? Anything within the time-space causation, anything which has a beginning, which has an end, anything which has birth, decay, all the six changes of life, no? Asti jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, mrityu. Six changes: birth, existence, birth, then growth, maturity, decline, and then gradually going down to one day disappearing. Everything is disappearing. One time it is here, another time it will be gone. So you now take this policy that I will try to understand what is Brahman by negating not this, not this, not this. But what is not this? What shall I negate? Anything I see in a name and form, anything I see that is changing, anything I see that has a birth and a decay, anything is limited, anything which depends on something, anything which can be destroyed, which can be built, reconstructed. So not this, not this, not this. So starting from the external world to the body, not the body, mind. Mind can be easily constructed, reconstructed, is it not? You come and tell me in some sweet words, I will be very happy. And you say some strong word, boom. So the mind is such a thing you can manipulate. You can give a boost this way, you can unscrew this way. You can create some person make mad by pressurizing continuously some we call mental pressure. No? That means mind can be manipulated. That is not Brahman. Your understanding is Manipulative. Why? Today you think it is idea. Huh? Tomorrow you see today's science, what is talking big, today's special discovery. Tomorrow they will negate it. Go to the medical science, go to every phase of science, how everything is changing every day. So how can you say these are permanent? Not this, not this, not this, not this. Go this way. Your understanding is also not permanent. It is every day it changes. Our understanding when we were kids and now today's understanding, we are matured much differently. Matured where? Physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually. Then our ego also. But ego is also changing. I used to identify with my small body, with my school friends when I was in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. No. Now you went to college, then your identity changes. Now you are here, so your identity has changed. I is connecting with someone, detaching with someone. So I is also changing. But behind that I, that which you cannot deny. Because why can you not deny? Think that now it is here. I am talking because of the consciousness behind. When you are dreaming, your dream experience is possible because there is consciousness behind. When you are sleeping, there is nothing, but you are there because you say, I slept well. So that consciousness is behind in the veil of Maya or ignorance. Therefore, you cannot deny the witness, that conscious being. So that you have to go on analyzing, and go back to that, all these 5 layers of covering, identification, go back and stand there. And I am that. And be happy. Only the way to be happy is to go to that state. So he says that the supreme knowledge state that remains at the end of all negations on page 329, after which nothing more can be negated, is verily called I. This knowledge comes. How it comes? By means of negation. By negation. Due to the discrimination about all the abstract and non-abstract objects. This is not Brahman, this is not Brahman. Know this and be happy. So, Vedanta path is only to say rejection. Because we get stuck to the world and worldliness. How much we try to get out, it has a sticky side of it. But you release this side and it gets stuck that side. And Swamiji said that it is like a gout. Old gout, you drive it from your leg, it comes to your hand. You push it out from there, it goes to the left arm. So it is moving, it does not leave you. This Maya does not leave you, ignorance does not leave you. So that is the point. That's why constant practice should be analyzing, and that analysis gives us detachment also. Analysis, when we analyze perfectly, then we get detached because we know it is impermanent. So therefore, no use of getting into it too much. But in life, we'll have to go on, let it be. But no attachment. Freedom, that's the freedom. We do not know what is freedom. Freedom is, we say love. Love is freedom. If that love binds you, then it's bondage. You love, at the same time, free. Be free. Can you give that freedom to someone you love? And can that person give you the freedom? That's the thing which is lacking in the world. You love someone means you be my slave. What I say, you do. If you don't do, then you are not. And we get into fight and always. This is a normal day-to-day life. Look at that. But love is not that. Love should be freedom. So where is that? Only in Brahman is that. Not in anywhere. Because this is a sticky area. Wherever you, if you suppose you, Ramakrishna gave the example, that you enter into a cooking place, no? Kitchen. In early days in India, they have no smoke pipe and other things. So it is here and there, shoots will be there. So Sri Ramakrishna says, Kajoler ghar, if the room is full of soot around, how much you be intelligent? Either your hand will get touched, this will get, or back will get, or something. Yeah. কাজলের ঘরে যতই শেয়ানা হও না কেন, how much intelligent you become, and there will be some spot. So to care about that, you detach. That is the Vedantic way. Now extra verse. We have read up to that. Extra verse is what? Achakshas sinubatato achakshva sinubatato Nana Shastrani Anekasha. Nana Shastrani Anekasha. Tathapi Tabana Swasthyam. Tathapi Tabana Swasthyam. Sarva Vismaranadrite. Sarva Vismaranadrite. Oh dear, you may listen to different scriptures. We are listening different scriptures. No? This book, that book, that book, that book. We always find, oh, we have read this book. We'll have to read another book. This scripture we have read. We have to read Astavakra we have to read. We have read this. We'll have to go to the Viveka Chudamani. We have to read Vedanta Saro. Then we will do it in another thing. Aparakshanavati. Okay. Read thousands of books. You may listen. Nothing, reading is not bad. But you may listen to different scriptures. And in varied ways, every scripture talks, its own pattern is there. They talk different way. Or go on explaining them as I am doing. Do explain this way, that way, that way. Yet you will not attain your self-abiding state. That state you will not attain. In which your stay in the real self will not be accomplished. Without how? Without dissolution of the concept of reality of all the dualities through practice of knowledge. Without, that means unless you can dissolve. What you to dissolve? The concepts. Things will not dissolve, no? It will not melt tomorrow. Suppose one gets a Brahma Jnana here, and he sees oneness. So all the table, floor, table, candle, the light, chandelier, the clock, everything will melt. It will not melt. Your mind will melt. Your mind which creates this duality, it will die. That's why it was noontime, some talk was going on. You were to die. Death of the body, not of the body. Death of the mind. That mind creates all these things. Mind should be free and detached. And when mind is free from all these attachments, that is called the freedom. We have read it before. Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandhamakshayo. Mind is the only cause of bondage. Mind is the only cause of freedom. So, nirbashana, that mind which does not have any attachment, that's free. Who is free in this world? Who live in the world and are not attached to anything. Whole Gita says, Sita pragnasya ka bhasa. He who is not identified with anything, the freedom is that person. As much attachment to anything, that much is the suffering. We don't understand it. How much we read. That's why they are saying, oh dear, you may listen to different scriptures in varied ways and go on explaining them. You can go on whole life. Pandits are doing all life. But, or go on explaining them. You are a great scholar, you have understood. Now you are giving class, understanding everything. That will not give you freedom. Yet you will not attain your self-abiding state. That means state where you want to go at the perfect state where there is empty, non-empty, or you cannot say anything. That abiding state of joy. Without the dissolution of what? Of the concept of reality. These are all real. This has entered deep into our psyche. It is real. Anything happens here, we get so much affected. And what is happening? For ourselves, Atman. We are forgetting Atman day and night. We are not at all worried for that. But anything happen here, so we run because there's something happening. It is more valuable. So when that day there is a fire, huh? Naturally we all ran. But there is a fire here. Who is running for that? We have no time for that. We are very busy taking care of the external fire. And of course, we'll have to do. Don't mind that we should be, unless you are a Brahmagani, you will be saying, okay, let it go. Let it burn. Mithila, the kingdom, the palace is burning. What is that to me? I am Brahmagani. Only Brahmaganis can do that, or Tamasa people can do that. Most dull and insensitive people can do, insensitive people. But the point is that what is the emphasis? It is not criticizing. It is saying that you do analyze perfectly, not intellectually. Not intellectually we talk, understand up to brain. It is up to brain is okay. It should be clear so that understanding is step by step. You are not, at least your understanding is taking in the right direction. But after that, you have to give up that. What are the boosters? No, when you satellite launching happens, what happens? It's a booster, boom, and then it goes. After a certain point, you reach that, and gravitational pull is coming again, boom, another boosting. No? They remain behind. So body will remain behind. Mind will remain behind. It gives a boosting. Body is necessary. Otherwise, who will meditate? How will you sit? How will you quietly put your legs and try to sit back, neck straight? How will you do that if the body is not there? So, yes, take the help of the body. Give a boosting. Let it fly in the another height. Another height. Another height. 5 heights in spiritual life. This body pushes into pranic energy, annamaya, pranamaya, and pranamaya to manomaya, mental sphere, vijnanamaya, in the intellectual sphere, ego sphere. Then you see the satellite is open now, free. It rotates in its own way, freely. No control. No one is controlling anymore. No pull. Our attachment is the pull, gravitational pull, pulling us always down. Whatever you say, there is a pull. Unless you give a good boosting, it will again fall down. So that's why spiritual sadhana. Shankara also supported this idea, the Bhagavaikari, Shabdajari, Shastro Vyakkhanu Kaushalam, and this explaining the scriptures, and understanding this and talking about this is good. It is your intellectual satisfaction. There is joy in intellectualism, but not to muktaye. It will not give you liberation unless you practice this. That Ramakrishna gave the example that there is some birds, kakatua, kinam, parrots. You teach parrot. In India, the Hindus have great spiritual love for spirituality. They will teach the parrot, say, Krishna, Krishna. Then parrot will be saying something, Krishna, Krishna. Then ultimately, one day, the parrot learns Krishna, Krishna. And Ramakrishna said, yes, the parrot will talk Krishna, Krishna. But when a cat catches, then his original voice will come out. So similarly, we are Brahman intellectual. And catch him at some point. I am the body, I am the body, I am mind. So this is the point. That speaking is one thing, but to practice. Very important. That's the emphasis on practice. Now, 23 verse number 23 on page 330. It says, Atmanang satatang brahma Atmanam satatang brahma viddhi chaikam nirantaram. Viddhi chaikam nirantaram. Aham dhyata param dheyam. Aham dhyata param dheyam. Akhandam khandase katham. Akhandam khandase katham. Atmanam satatang. Atman, our real self, capital self, Atma. Satatang means all the time. Viddhi, no. No, all the time, that is Brahman. This Atman, this consciousness behind me, is the consciousness behind the whole universe. The ocean behind the drop is the same ocean at the ground of everything. So I am ocean. So Atmanam Satatang Brahma Viddhi. You know Atman is Brahman. I am that. Satatam. All the time you should know this. So Ekam. Ekam means only one. And Nirantaram. It is a continuous thing. It is only Atman, that Brahman is only one. And Nirantaram means continuous. There is no gap. This is the table, there is a gap. And there is a pew. There is a gap. In Brahman, there is no gap as such. Everything is saturated with that light and consciousness. No? So it is Atmanam. So know this. Always try to think this consciousness which is manifesting to my prana. I am talking prana, to my movement of my hand, to my eyes looking this and that. So all this is because the Atman behind. And know that Atman is not finished here. Behind me only here. And it's not there outside. It is everywhere. And that is Ekam. Said that is Brahman. And that Brahman is only one. There is no concept of any two. Nirantaram. There is no intermediary gap in between. That consciousness is homogeneous. That consciousness permeates everything. Aham dhyata. Now, you people are meditators. Huh? Meditation in. That's why Vedanta is too high. They don't look upon the meditators, they're in a lower category. Because what are you doing? You are meditating. Whom you are meditating? God. And you? I am a servant. So God is one, you are there. You are meditating on them. Hari, what fool? Akhandam khandase katham. There is only one reality ocean. Why are you making a distinction? I, small, meditating on big. It's very, this is the distinction between Patanjali's system of meditation. Point comes. Meditation means two, no? Meditation means I am the meditator. Through the media, I meditate. That's my mind is the tool. My intellect is the tool. And the object I meditate, we call symbolic, whatever symbolic, but we meditate. That what symbol for what? Symbol for infinity. So that's the process of meditation. Now here, Vasishta, the great sage, is saying, "Oh Rama, why are you splitting that one reality as a meditator and meditation and the object of meditation? You are making three. Why are you doing this? Akhandam, it is one absolute Brahman is there. Only there is nothing but Brahman. But you are making a distinction. Why? Just don't do. That means you think that your Atman is the Brahman. Brahman is the Atman and nothing else. So, the translation goes,
thinking is also true.
Thinking also true. That's why Shravana. First you see, and Shravana in such a depth.
No, because he is advising not to do thinking, meditating.
And
Then I
thinking,
am thinking.
thinking not into. The question is that whether Vasishtha is asking not to think. No, no, not that. Not to think. Thinking in our ordinary sense is something splitting the infinite into finite. Whenever we think anything. But expand that thinking process that I am not sought. That's also thinking. I am infinite. That's also thinking. But that's why Sravana, day and night, only think. That's why Vedanta says, think that you are that, you are that, you are that, you are not this, you are that. But when you are making an image of that, that's why the dualistic religion is said different from the Vedanta. But nothing Vedanta different ultimately. But today's discussion's sake, I'm talking this idea that when I am meditating on some divine form, of course, it's much better because I meditate on worldly things. I meditate on rice and potato. What is the good food today? Who has cooked it? Whether there is anything better food or I this and that. So we meditate on those things. We think of those thoughts. So that's why meditation is good because we meditate on God, who is the embodiment of truth. No? And then you meditate, meditate, meditate. Then your mind become clear. Then you say, "Hare, who am I meditating? I, who am I? I am that what I am meditating upon. I am H2O meditating on the ocean H2O. The drop H2O is thinking of the ocean H2O. Are H2O is H2O. Why are you making distinction? That is the point. Yes.
Swami, is this teaching to be understood? Maybe there are levels to understanding for until we reach Rama's stage. Is the maybe precursor position? It's more as utility until we reach that.
But true. But point is that yes, it is students should be intelligent to understand this. Otherwise, they'll make a wrong impression that they don't meditate anymore. Vedanta means don't meditate. No, Vedanta teaches that this is necessary, but to understand that meditation is a secondary thing.
So the second point
what I'm saying, your point is that then shall we be first Rama, then listen to this? No. Let us be who we are now. And let our buddhi be sharpened like that. Reading, understanding. Then what will happen? Then this idea will be more clear that you meditate on what? I am meditating on myself, my real self. So that concept will change. And that real me, not this is me, but that is the real me. That our awareness will grow gradually instead of stepping stone. Meditation is a stepping stone. Okay, second question.
No, it's not what you were saying, Swami. So, but it seems like there is a lot of value even before you reach Rama's state. But the trick seems to be to reconcile and merge with the dualistic attitude. Then it seems actually nice because you have that in the background, but you are doing your practice.
That's why we are reading this book. That's why this student of this book is not ordinary person who has no beginning of Vedanta. No? This is meant for those people who have long meditated, made long devotional practice. Their heart become much purer and cleaner, and intellect become very sharp and penetrating. Then this will touch their heart. Otherwise, it is just reading. We cannot use it anything in our day-to-day practice. Many times I say, why not meditate for another week? Tell me how many can meditate. We read here, close the book, and read other things. But to meditate one verse, Atmanam Satatam Brahma Viddhi Chaikam Nirantaram. Take this verse. Atmanam Satatam Brahma. Think that Atmanam, the Atman which is within me, is Brahman, the absolute. Think that the ocean, this, what is here, not the body, not the mind, but that consciousness. And that is this infinite ocean, Brahman. And Ekam, that is only one. Me and that is no difference. Only one. And Nirantaram, there is no gap in that totality. So I am Dhyata. I am meditating. Whom I am meditating? I am H2O. I am Satchidananda. And everything is Satchidananda. So it's one type of meditation. You can say meditation. That's a nididhasana. They call deep reflection. Eh? Just superficial one. It will not be attracted to this. The major thing is that we will not be attracted to this type of thinking unless our mind is much prepared. When there you have seen that classical music. Classical music, those to create a taste for classical music, you have to listen many music. No? And then you create your ear will be ready to perceive, your mind will be able to appreciate. No? But classical is good. So let us go for classical, everyone. I have no basic sense of music, no name, no tal, no beat, no tune, note and tune, and now I am a classical. We all become very knowledgeable. You see, when classical song goes, as if we understand so much. We understand nothing. Even we do the tal, and all tal is wrong. We have no idea of tal. So similarly, these are good, these are necessary. We have to go step by step. But this is also good to think lofty thought. Vedanta is so important. Why? Maybe I am here, but there is nothing wrong if I want to go to a destination. Say I want to go to San Francisco. And I want to know, oh, San Francisco is so great, so great. It is like this, it is like that, it is like that. What it creates? An urge in our mind. When I shall reach that destination? No? Otherwise, if your goal is here only from here to Vine Street, then you will see the broken road here and the cul-de-sac is there and the same old cars on the path here and there. That will be your end of your vision. But if you keep that, then these will be rejected, and go move. So that is the practice is important. Spiritual life is all practice. So realize what is the self as non-dual Brahman. Myself is non-dual Brahman. No? Always free from all distinctions. There is no distinction. There is no gap. There is no separation. Why are you partitioning, making a partition? Differentiating the undivided Brahman by your own thoughts. What is your thought? I am meditator. The Supreme Brahman is the object of my meditation, etc. So if people don't understand, many people say, why to meditate? I see some foolish statement of some even intelligent persons. They say, I am Brahman. What to meditate? I am that. Finish. So you eat, eat something, go on singing, dancing. I am Brahman. So that is the point we should be careful. I am Brahman. Only saying will not make you Brahman. You are Brahman. If I pinch you, then you see immediately I am Brahman or I am body. So we'll reach a point one day. But the point is that we should not be lacking in our real understanding. No, we should not be cheating ourselves. Sometimes Vedanta may be a cheating process. I am Brahman. I'm pure always. You did this wrong thing. No, I didn't do. I am Atman. You didn't. Who did? So these are the very bad logic and people utilize for their own selfish end. That is to be careful about. But this is actually for a high level of student who can think. I had a friend, from his joining, he was a lover of Advaita Vedanta. He will not budge from that 1 inch. So I used to say, hey, let us go and meditate in the evening. He said, what? What meditation? Who to meditate? Who is meditating on what? And then he will be quoting all these books he has already read. Astavakra, Yoga and they will be quoting so many things and say, who is meditating? Meditation is what? Why are you meditating? See, feel. Then we as a friend, we used to tease, okay, you have become Brahmagyani. Well, you fools, you don't understand, go. You go meditate. But he's sincere, but he used to keep his mind very in a lofty level. So, a tendency, they have their past life behind. So they may be. But most of the time, people make a misuse of it. Full of ego, fill up arrogance, and think, I am Atman. Hurry, I am Atman, when you say your arrogance will not remain anymore. It's a different type. Your love will flow for others. If you say, I am Atman, and you hate someone, you are not saying truth. If you are Atman, you know everyone is permitted this way. Atmanam satadang viddhi, aham brahm cha ekam nirantaram. So it is everywhere. So if I am Brahman, you are also Brahman. So that respect will come. If you want respect, you want to give respect to others. So similarly, in the duality, when you want, they will not make a blunder. But most of the time it is misunderstood. Okay, so 23rd verse is done. Now the 24th verse. 24th verse is Shoham chinmatrame veti Shoham chinmatrame veti Chintanam dhyanam Chintanam dhyanam Dhyanasya abhismriti samyak Dhyanasya abhismriti samyak Samadhir abhidhiyate Samadhir abhidhiyate. So Vedantic Dhyanam is what? Is clearly telling us what to meditate. Soham chinmatra. That I am that. Sa aham. Sa aham. What is that sa? What is that aham? Chinmatra. Eva. I am only consciousness. I am that consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. So I am that consciousness. Soham chinmatrameva iti. I am only that consciousness. This chintanam. You think, sit. I, the consciousness here, am that consciousness. Think. Chintanam. This is called dhyana. Vedantic dhyana. In other dhyana, you take a symbol. We take our Ishta mantra, Ishta Deva, mantra, sometimes dot of light, some symbol of. That is not Brahman. But we must take some symbol in our student life to reach this point. But some advanced person can just think that aham, instantly his idea will come, not the body, not the mind, not the soul, it is the consciousness. No? One stroke, it should penetrate like that. That needs long spiritual practice to come to this conclusion. As soon as word comes, every one of us, what do you think? This body. So, no. By long practice, you understand so aham. Aham, sa. So, aham means what? This not the embodied being. And sa, he is not the God with a rod in hand, sitting, hey, you did some wrong, get a hit. You did some good, go to heaven. He's sitting there to channelize this side, that side. No, it's not that God. Sa is a Satchidananda, that infinite consciousness. And here the consciousness. Meditate. Just close your eyes and think, aham sa iti, this. And what is this? Chit matra. Here is consciousness, there is consciousness, there is consciousness everywhere. Chinmatram. Eva iti. Only, merely it is the chinmatra. It is only consciousness. It is chintanam. You constantly think that way, that this is that consciousness, and it is all permeated consciousness, absolute consciousness. Iti chintanam, this type of thought, this type of meditation, this type of thinking is called dhyanam. This is called meditation. Dhyanasya avismriti samyak. If your dhyana continues and you don't forget, continuously you do that, that's called the samadhir abhidhiyate. That's called the nirvikalpa samadhi. So Vedanta accepts nirvikalpa samadhi. Ramakrishna went. Look at that same story happened. The Totapuri was giving instruction. Aham Brahmasmi. Soham, Soham, Soham. I am that, I am that. And then Ramakrishna's mind went up to here. And it was getting here. But he pushed something to raise the consciousness above. And it went up. Thus, Samadhi. And after that, Ramakrishna is all the time, now and then goes to Samadhi. It has become so easy for him. But only avatar can do that. Not we can do anything. Even ordinary sadhaka cannot go to Samadhi so many times in life. Swami Vivekananda in many times Samadhi. In presence of Ramakrishna, after his passing away in Camp Percy, in our Thousand Island Park, then where?
Near Rima.
But he was, whether he go into Samadhi, we do not know. Maybe, but Samadhi was very natural thing for them because they are in highly elevated, always think that I am. That's why Swamiji's story is there. One day he was pacing back and forth, and there is a big mirror. And when he comes in front of the mirror, he's intently looking at him. Few minutes. And then he turns and one lady then said, oh, he thought that probably Swamiji is now, says, I am not the body, not the mind, but he loves his beautiful face, curly hair, no? So he asked. And before asking, the lady asking, Swamiji said, I was trying to remember my body. And that's why I'm seeing in the mirror. And as I turned, I forgot my body. See the plane of the person standing before the mirror, trying to visualize as he looks nice, no? With hand, feet, eyes, this, that, and turning instantly, he forgets that he has a body. So he's a bodiless. So that is that's why Samadhi was so easy for them. So I am that supreme self, which is consciousness alone and Brahman. This type of reflection is called contemplation. When this type of reflection becomes uninterrupted, you go there and stay on. Then it is verily called the highest Samadhi. The note says, the very harmonious note of mental modification pointed towards the goal is renowned as meditation. Harmonious note of mental modification. Mental modification means mind takes a shape of ripple, no? So that when you think of infinite, that the wave will be infinite then. No? So that is called the mental modification pointed towards the goal. That is called renown as meditation. When it becomes deep, one attains the state of Savikalpa Samadhi. In this state, there remains three components: the meditator, the act of meditation, and the object of meditation. You have to go through that channel, no? You are meditating, as you give the example. Think that you are the consciousness, and that consciousness and you are the same. When you start meditating this way, that means you started your meditation. The meditator, the object of meditation, and the meditation process through the help of mind. Three things are going on. And you get absorbed and absorbed and absorbed in oneness of these three. Then ultimately a state will come. You'll cross the Savikalpa to Nirvikalpa. That is his name. Triputi, the act of meditation and the object of meditation. When that state becomes deeper, there remains not even a concept of the three components that I was meditating on my real nature. I am consciousness, meditating on Brahman and consciousness. Those distinctions also vanish. Therefore, the object of meditation remains, alone remains at the end. Object of meditation means Brahman alone remains. That is verily the Nirvikalpa Samadhi is discussed in the next verse. Huh? So I can end it here. 24 I ended. We'll read 25. And then we are soon coming to an end. I'm not willing to end it, but
You can restart one.
we can restart.
Replay.
Yeah. That's good. I am agreeable because this I've fallen in love with this book. Actually, it's a very beautiful book.
One question is I don't understand. Says that when in crossroads, how to decide which road to take?
That's why question is when we are in crossroad, what, how to know,
How
to know, decide
which road
I should take. Okay, crossroad. That's why if we are in the crossroad and we want to go a destination, then what we do? There also we go and ask somebody that's my goal. Which direction? Crossroad, so many directions, 4 direction. Sometimes it may be 6 direction. Road going. So which direction I shall go? That's why you go to your teacher. Simple formula. Or to a person who has advanced spiritually more than you, then go and ask him. Or go to Gospel of Ramakrishna, go to Christ message of Bible. If you cannot understand yourself, go to those who understand. Like that. Main thing, I think I would suggest, go to your teacher. Find some teacher who can help us, who can guide us. But before going to the teacher, you have to think whether he can help you or not. So that's your thing. Don't go and ask anybody and everybody. And they will give some wrong direction. As before GPS, we used to have those experiences. We went there and asked somebody, and they said, go this way. Okay, 5-6 miles we drove. And then I thought, they said 6 miles, this will be over, like that it will come. But what is the matter? We are going to some home, or some devotee's home or something like that. And then they said, "Hey, why you have come here? This is the wrong direction." Then we go to the gas station, and those are the places we used to go. And they give it. So go to a person who knows that. That means go to a good teacher. And the scriptures are our guide also. These are also good guide. If we have the clarity of understanding, we need to follow some direction. What is given in scriptures are good. Why? But it is also there is a risk of misunderstanding the scripture. Suppose if we have read what we have read, meditation. Why are you meditating? Why are you making the one into many? Meditator meditation. So think of I am Brahman. So hearing this message without not knowing what we have discussed so many years, if people take this advice and say this, that Sarvadevananda said this, then I'll be in trouble. I didn't mean that. It is the scripture has said that. But that's why to understand the scripture in the right sense, that is necessary. Buddhi Suddhi. But Ramakrishna said it is mixed with sand and sugar together. So you have to give up the sand and take the sugar. So every scripture has mixture. One eternal message, one is a message which is temporal message. So you'll have to accept what is eternal in that. In the Bible, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. No? Be ye pure as your Father in the heaven is pure. No? Take those essential eternal message. But how many people take those as message rather than they took what ritualistic message? This is Christianity. This is Islam. This is Hinduism. So we go for this ritual, not to the eternal message. So the scriptures are good help. Holy people are our help. They can, in the crossroad, tell us, go this way, do this way. That will be. Who have no motivation. Go to a person who have no personal motive to get money, to get name, to get advantage of you. There is risk. But those has no meaning, nothing, no expectation, and really are practicing in their own life, they can help us. Done? So it is good. Today no one is any question. Good. So we can. You have any question here? More? No more. Then we can easily end. Today perfect time, 8:30 we ended. Huh? Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Panam Astu. Tomorrow will be tomorrow gospel class. Tomorrow gospel class. Suttamayananda Swami. Am I not?
No.
Okay. Tomorrow Swami Suttamayananda will be giving the evening 7:30 gospel class.
And also Katha
And Katha Upanishad also. Two classes he will give 10:30.
10:30.
10:30 as usual. 10:30 Katha Upanishad by Sattamayananda Swami, and also 7:30 gospel Sattamayananda Swami. Good. What?